look at you now.
It's only one round.
Anything else? Thank you.
Do you want to ask the questions or just
Yeah.
answer them?
You guys are all the same. I could write this.
But with
All right.
like, proper spelling and
Yeah,
I don't have that
punctuation and all
part, no.
Yeah,
If computers
I think
know
so. See, it's not
Do you guys
so
have editors too?
No.
All right, we're here with Joel
Really?
Dahmen.
Yes.
3 under 67. Joel, can you talk us through your round a little bit today?
I made a great bogey on the first, or on my 10th hole. That's a par 5, so it was fine. And then I made a good putt on the par 3 and was kind of settled me down. And I hit a bunch of fairways and greens after that, and just kind of kept the ball in front of me, kept it in play, and took advantage of some of the easier holes.
Yeah, 3 birdies in your last 5 holes. What'd you find towards the end of the round?
The easier holes on the golf course. I found a drivable par 4 that I knocked on the fringe. The shot I hit into 6 was a great golf shot that worked out even better. And then 8s, I mean, long players will be hitting short irons in there today downwind. So found some of these just easier holes on the back, or I guess on the front.
What was your mindset going into today, and how does that change now that you're tied for the U.S. Open lead?
I knew I could compete here because it's not overly long. I hit a bunch of fairways. I typically hit a lot of greens. Yeah, I mean, it was. I don't have too. I try to keep expectations low, as you guys probably know a little bit. But yeah, it just shows that this is a good golf course for me, and if I can keep hitting the ball this way, I can probably hang around for a long time.
Go ahead, Dan.
Have you always been that way? Like when you were a junior, were you like, I'm not very good, or is this like a pro
I don't
thing?
know. Like it's self-deprecating a little bit, but like I mean, my dad taught me to be very humble, I guess. Like it was, I remember some vivid car rides coming home after a junior win or whatever, and it was like, well, you don't talk about yourself. You don't. It's like you let people ask you questions type thing. So it's not necessarily a humble thing anymore. It's just like, I don't know, staying neutral. You can't get too high, too low. I mean, do I believe myself? Yeah. Like if you look at my game and what I am, like for me to make it on tour for 6 years and play this well, like that's probably overachieving, some would say. I mean, I wasn't an All-American. I wasn't the best. So I think it's just kind of understanding who I am and where I'm at. And I don't know, Rocco Mediate took Tiger to 91 holes. I think I could do okay.
What is it about this golf course that you kind of mentioned it? Is it a not gentler, but a different test than U.S. Opens of the past couple of years?
Yeah, like the wing foot was just kind of stood out to me. Like I didn't have a fighting chance there. Like I had to hit it so perfect all the time, where this one, even if you're in the rough, it's graduated a little bit. I can get it around the greens. Or I'm not hitting 4-iron hybrid into every hole. There's wedges out there. You know, you can get to the par 5 today, number 8. That stuff, like you still have to hit it great and you still have to be in the right spots, but this is like everyone can play this golf course, from Brian Stewart to myself to the long players. And you have to hit, like even myself, I hit multiple 3-woods off the tee, hit a hybrid on 9. It's not just a hit it as far as you can type contest.
Yeah, Brandon?
How would you describe your competitiveness, like as an athlete, you know?
Pretty high. I'm super competitive. I love competing. I am the greatest backyard game player in the world. Max Homa will tell you differently, but darts, cornhole, like I would put myself against anyone, especially on the PGA Tour. But I love being competitive. I love playing for whatever it is, cards. I've always been that way. Always been super competitive.
So I guess with that said, like when part of the personality is that self-deprecating thing, and you like to say, you know, oh, I'm not going to do this, I can't do that. Is there then something actually in the back of your mind where you're like, now I'm going to prove
it's
everything
also
that I
kind
just
of
said
fun.
wrong?
I mean, when you're with these other guys, like they have it a little bit, but it's also like getting between the ropes. Like I'm very competitive and I believe in myself and I hate losing, but it's also like, for me, it's the most fun to play with when you're playing with those best players. You've got to play with Spieth in the final round, close to the lead twice this year, and I'm like in that moment, like I love that stuff. Like I love being in that situation. I love being nervous. I love my hands shaking. And that's why we play the game. And I've done pretty well under pressure. Like the closer I get to it, like I don't tend to just completely collapse. I mean, obviously everyone has at times, but I do better when I'm in the moment than I'm screwing around in 40th trying to just make a paycheck type thing. A little more focused on every little thing for sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
I know it wasn't the issue today, but when things do start going tough for you, do you start believing the self-deprecating stuff and start having to do the opposite and talking yourself up a bit?
You have to do a little bit of both, and Gina, my caddy, has probably been on me at times for that. It's like, you know, you have to there is times where it's easy to kind of just, oh, it's fine to cruise down the hill and just this slippery slope, and you just find myself at the bottom and pick yourself back up again. But when you get in these moments in these bigger events, like that's what I love. And when I'm playing well and I'm in these moments, like I get more fired up for it. I'm ready to go more. I have a harder time to tee it up on a Saturday or Sunday when I'm in 40th. Like that just doesn't get my blood going.
Yeah, Dan?
Are we sort of getting ahead of ourselves with the talk after one round? Like, is there?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's pretty easy to go shoot 76 or 77 out there, and all of a sudden you're in 40th again. But also, like, I don't know, how often do you be tied for the lead at U.S. Open? Like, this is incredible, right? I had 2 putts from 30 feet. And I'm like, I don't think anyone in the afternoon is probably going to shoot 3. Like, that'd be a hell of a score, but it'd be a really cool footnote in whatever it is. And if I ended up 40th, who cares? But this will be...
So actually, like, finishing in the lead is something that would be, like, actively cool.
Absolutely, why not? Like, is it way cooler to finish in the lead on Sunday? Yeah, but is it still cool as, like, a kid who grew up in Clarkston, Washington, to be like, man, he's leading the U.S. Open? Like, that's kind of a cool deal. For sure.
Yeah, last one, Dylan.
What does the rest of your day look like? You got tomorrow afternoon is your next tee time. What do you do between now and then?
Fortunate, I'm going to call him a newly best friend, Ben Rector. He's a musician. I got to meet him at Pebble this year, and he's in town tonight. So we're going to go to his concert. It will be difficult to go to that one and not have 100 beers like we typically do at the concerts. But, so I have my wife's siblings. I guess they're my brother and sister-in-law since we're married. But they just graduated high school, so they're in town. We'll go to dinner and go watch Ben tonight and have an easy night. But with it being 2 o'clock tomorrow, I try to stay up later so I can sleep in longer because the long mornings there's nothing to do. So, yeah.
Thanks, Joel.
Yeah, thank you guys.